This is the Red Elvis Show with me, Josh Everton, Andy Simcox, and Tracy Martin. And potentially, we've got a guest appearance coming in later from Alan Smith. It depends how quick he can get his computer booted up and internet, which probably 3 to 4 working days, I'd imagine, but we'll never know. So we're going to speak about last night's game against Cambridge, preview Exeter. But first, we'll start off with the women's game. So, Tracy, it's been a few weeks since we last checked in. I think last time, he's here. I can see she's popped up on my screen. I'll have him in a minute.
Leave him out.
It's been a few weeks since last checked in. I think last time we checked in after Devante called on in, and then the day after, player from women's team's done the exact same finish as well.
Yeah, so it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so that was just before they had the second home game against Bradford City, which went really well. They won that 3-1, which was obviously the first league win of the season and at home, which is good. They then followed that up with a 1-0 win against Harrogate, again in the league. So that was two on the spin. So that's good, better home form than the male equivalents. So yeah, and Vic Chincharo, who I think I've said her name right. I'm sorry if I haven't, Vic. She scored a header there from a corner, and then at the weekend it was the FA Cup, and they got drawn against Ossett United, who were a team that were in division below the division they were in last year, and they lost 3-1. And I didn't go watch it myself, but speaking to some of the players, they were very disappointed with that. Said that it was deserved. They deserved it, but they didn't give a good account of themselves at all, and that they should have done a lot better and were extremely disappointed. So that's the amount of the FA Cup, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame because it's a bit of a money spinner as well. But it is what it is. And Vic Chincharo scored again, so that's two there that she's scored on the bounce as well. So this week on Sunday they're at home again, and they are playing, let me double check. I'm pretty certain, they're playing Hull British United, because I want to say Hull City and it isn't, it's Hull United. So they're playing Hull United. What's worth mentioning on Sunday is that both Julian Key and Jean Crown went down to watch, and regardless, I know fans are divided on how they feel about particularly Julian, but I think it's got to be mentioned that for such owners, executives, etc., to go and watch the women's team at the level that they are at is credit to them. So I think it's a real pat on the back that they've gone down on in their own time on a Sunday to watch the women. So like I say, regardless of our opinions of how they run the club, I think that's fair play and a pat on the back for doing that. So yeah, Sunday, if you've got a spare afternoon, get yourself down to it. Well, it's on the 3G again, 2:00 kickoff against Hull United, not City.
It's good to see that. It's good to see the board sort of taking an active interest in it as well, and not just sort of seeing it as some sort of side project kind of thing. Like taking like an active interest. I know Julian's been promoting on Twitter a bit as well, try and get people involved and get people down. Because it's nice to have both a women's and men's team under the same umbrella as a club as well, isn't it? To just provide that inclusivity and also provide opportunities as well for everyone to go and play, which is great to see. Right, we'll move on to Cambridge, but first I'm going to bring in...
No.
I'm going to do it. Unfortunately, I'm going to do it.
Get him in. We'll need some stats. We'll need some stats. Get him in.
So we're back in 2 seconds. So we said he'd be here, and the super sub is here. We've gone from being a man down to, he's received treatment on sidelines, he's back on, the referee's waved him back on. Al is back. So whilst you're back, Al, we'll come straight to you. Last night's performance, 4-0 win away from home. A result we didn't all see coming, to be honest.
Did I not see that? See, Andy, I'm back. Andy goes, what was it like, No, it was unbelievable, wasn't it? Straight after blocks, wasn't it? 10 minutes. What a goal by Nicky Cadden. I mean, the fluidity that we're playing away from home is unbelievable. I mean, why don't we do that at home? I mean, nice to see Davinian get his first goal, and I think his first goal in professional football as well. Lucky though, it were a good back header from their defender, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
He meant it.
Did he mean that one? It were meant. And then, coasting at 2-0. And I've got to say, Messi, a praise as well to Liam Roberts yet again. What a goalkeeper. Saved us again. All last 3 away games, he's put a shift in and saved us from going behind. Second half, scores? Max Waters. That's put a few fans' comments to sleep, hasn't it? That Max Waters scores a goal. I mean, keeper helped him, though, diving over it. I mean, it wasn't best shot, but you'll take that one. And then up pops Russell. And an assist by, as I said, should have played him, didn't I, last show, Josh Benson. Josh Benson comes on and a lovely layback. And what a finish into right-hand top corner. So 4-0, coasting. It could have been 5. Could have been 5 with McAtee, couldn't it? In final 9 minutes. So, yeah, fantastic performance. And I said one piece. I didn't see where goals were coming from, but they shared them out and still unbeaten away from home. I think they said last night since Good Friday. So yeah, well done, Barnsley.
Yeah, it's a very comprehensive performance, Andy, wasn't it, yesterday against Cambridge? But as Al alluded to, Liam Roberts called upon a few times again, but nothing. You could it 2 ways, can't you? He's doing his job. He's there to stop the ball going in the net. But I know Neil Collins after did mention that he was a little bit busier than what we'd like him to be.
Yeah, certainly that. Alan, is your computer linked to mine? Because whenever you come on, you knock me off. What's going on? These didn't want you to join, Al. I fought for you, though. They were trying to stop you coming on, Al. But
I'll be honest, Andy, I didn't stop recording, so we can have the evidence that
you can have all the evidence you want. don't believe the evidence of your own eyes. Believe me.
I didn't speed to get here. There you go.
Believe me, Al. Don't believe the evidence of your eyes when they play it back. Don't believe them, Al. Yeah, I thought we played. Get off my computer, Al. Mucking about with it. Flipping it. Anyway,
I changed the player.
yeah. It's good to see you, Al. Finally, yeah. I thought we did. I thought we did very well yesterday, particularly in the first half. It was for me. It was nice to see the high press coming back because we really did press them, and it worked. You know, I know we scored after 7 minutes, but it really worked. We did, particularly the first half, but throughout the match, some of the interpassing were really first class. I liked that, as Alan had said, because it's all down to Smithy, that we got John Russell back, which allowed Herbie to get further forward, and it nearly scored. It nearly scored in first half. I thought we were going to get a nosebleed with that near to goal line. So that was good. We totally dominated it. I also thought, I absolutely agree that our goalkeeper, Roberts, made a few good saves at key points. I thought we defended really well. I thought we defended in numbers. There was one bit in the first half where he saved a couple of shots and we ultimately crowded them out. And we did that a few times. We got blocks and in some respects, we did a bit of a Blackpool on them, that we blocked everything and got in the way and attacked in numbers and defended in numbers. So we're really, really pleased about that. I want to be careful here because I don't want to get too giddy with this. I thought the referee did well. I thought the referee did really well, which is scary. I know. I'll not keep it up. And I especially liked that it didn't fall for. I didn't think it were a penalty. I'm glad it didn't fall for the I've tippled over. Look, give me a penalty. Tumble down. But I thought the referee did well. I mean, I realised it got to added time, and I suddenly realised that I'd not been shouting names at the referee. So, for that, I thought, well done, Cadden. Totally unmarked for the first goal, but he put himself there. If you look, he started off and then got his send there and finished it really well. He had another one with his right foot that he put over the top, but he had a go. I think he was making a statement. I need to be in this team, and he deserved it. Mile got the strangest goal I've seen. He headed it in after it had been headed onto his head. That was very strange. But it's his first ever goal. Well done to him. I thought he had a great game at the back. He's looking like the player that we hoped he were going to be, but didn't expect, to be honest. I thought he was outstanding. Max, as Alan had said, Max Watter's goal weren't it were a bit of a, in some respects, it were a bit of a pappy shot really that went through goalie's legs. It were a bit, but having said that, he got the ball to start with, laid it off to Callum Styles, and were telling him, pointing where he wanted Callum to put the ball back for him, which is what Styles did. So, you can say the shot weren't that great, but it still went in, so it counts. They all count. But he made that goal for himself in that respect. He orchestrated that goal. And then, again, like Alan said, Johnny Russell, he just finished off an exceptional performance by him. I thought that he looked majestic in the central midfield against Cambridge last night. Majestic. Where a lovely shot. And I felt such a shame for McAtee not to score right then, because he did well to get. He did what players should do. He received the ball, their players coming steaming back, and he moved in front of him so that he couldn't get past him to get a tackle in. He altered his running, so the defender had to be behind him. So the defender either let him go or took him out. And I thought that was a really clever play. Just such a shame that the goalkeeper made a decent save, especially after his miss over the weekend. Get a bit of credibility back. So well done to him, and well done to them all. Really chuffed for them all.
Yeah, well, it was a very strong performance, Tracy. Obviously, away from home, we're fantastic. At home, there's a little bit more to be desired, but it is nice to see that we can have that clinical edge to us from time to time. It's just a bit of inconsistency at the minute, which is a bit of an issue. I saw a few tweets from Cambridge fans yesterday saying that we were best side that they've seen so far this season, which I think they played. I think the last 3 or 4 games they played a lot of the top 4 within that as well. So testament to the performance yesterday, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they've been doing quite well. They've certainly. I mean, well, if they'd have beaten us, they'd have gone above us, wouldn't they? I think so. They've been doing quite well, and yeah, I think as a team of 11. Yesterday, certainly the first half, we were probably the best I think we've been this season. We looked like everyone knew the job. We were pressing as a team. It wasn't so isolated where one person's pressing and then there's 9 people not. It was pressing together. John Russell, majestic. I'm not sure I'd put that in the same sentence, but he's a bit of he's Marmite, I think, John Russell. I think you see him and you appreciate what he does, or I know a lot of fans really dislike him, and I've had my criticisms this season, but I think he has a place in that team whilst we don't have Luke O'Connell. And I think it shows when we don't play him. So at the weekend where, Theo Chapman played, and it's no disrespect to Theo Chapman because he put a shift in as he always does, but it just shows you that it allows Herbie Kane and Callum Styles to just influence the game more by having John Russell behind you, because he does just sit in that hole and does that job. And he finished really well, to be fair to him. Andy.
Oh, don't be fair to him. Don't be fair to him then.
No, it was a good finish. But yeah, and like with Watters, it just shows you, hopefully this will give him the confidence, because you've only got to watch Devante Cole play to see his confidence compared to what we've seen in the certainly beginning of last season. The way he runs, and when he gets the ball now, Cole, he has literally one thing on his mind. He's just looking straight away. Can I get a shot? If I can't get a shot, can I pass it to somebody who can put me back in to get a shot? He's just got his eye for goal. He's unbelievable at the minute. And hopefully that goal will give him his confidence, because he hasn't had the best start to the season. And again, he's come under some criticism for that. But I think hopefully that goal will help him out. They allowed us to play. They didn't do a Blackpool on us. They allowed us to play now. And whether that's the issue when we play away and at home, I don't know. But again, our wing backs, O'Keefe and Cadden, were massively involved in the game, which is obviously when we do well. And they allowed that to happen. But I have to say credit where it's due. I thought we were exceptional, particularly in the first half. We still have those 5 minutes of mayhem in the box when everything seems to bounce around, and like you say, we've got bodies sliding all over, and it's bouncing off Roberts and he's saving another. And I think maybe it's just to keep us entertained and keep us on his toes. I think maybe we're just going to go with that. But no, I thought it was a great performance, and yeah, I mean, let's be honest. What are we, 11 games in and we're 4th? You can heap criticism on Neil Collins, as he seems to get quite a lot unjustified, in my opinion. But we're 4th. We're fourth after 11 games. You're not
And
telling
losing
me...
4 at home, Tracy, as well, isn't it? Losing 4 at home. We've lost 4 out of 6 at home and we're still fourth. It's a daft league.
It is. And you've looked, I think the top half of the table is split by sort of 6 points. So I think you can, even down to like 14 and 15, you're 3 points away from being in the top 6, which, all right, people will say, well, that's why you're fourth. But I just think, sometimes you've just got to say, we're 11 games in, we're fourth. And the lad, the manager came in late. He said himself, pre-season wasn't what it should have been. Sometimes you've just got to say, maybe, well done. We've done all right. We've still got a lot to improve on, but we've done all right.
Yeah,
and last night I thought we were great. So sorry, Josh.
No, it's all right. I think it's something I definitely want to touch upon in the next few weeks. Obviously, as we get to sort of the 10-game test, if you love, when you can sort of make an informed opinion. It is. I find it really strange in a way to be in the position we're in when you look at the summer we had. We've lost the complete back line. We've lost a goalkeeper. We brought a manager in very late into pre-season. We didn't have the best pre-season from that point. We sold our captain transfer deadline day, sold a striker that played throughout pre-season the day before the season started. There's a lot that Neil Collins had to contend with this, even just in this first portion of the season. And to be in fourth, it's testament to him. He's done a good job. Yeah, Liam Roberts is busier than we'd like him to be, but his job is to stop the ball going in the net. He's doing it. We're in fourth. Everyone knows if we're in touching distance at January, we can reinvest the kitchen money and move forward from there. So I do think some of the criticism is facing at the minute is a little bit unjust. And it did make me laugh reading all the replies to the Twitter team selection and seeing a few of them being deleted after Max Waters had scored as well. So yeah, I listened to Mark Bonner's interview after the game. Said Cambridge was somewhat unlucky. He admitted the first 20-25 minutes, half hour, that they weren't at races. We were doing well, and then sort of started to feel the way back in. And obviously with the second goal conceded is a huge stroke of fortune on our behalf. But we've been due some, haven't we? We've been due some. In the second half, it was complimentary on the first half. In the second half, he knew the game had gone, barring that 10 minutes where they didn't score. Which that's a fair assessment from his point of view.
Not really, no. They were out there, wasn't it? I mean, if you look, it didn't go because Kate were working, so an eye follow. Even their commentary on their radio station, like Radio Sheffield, they were saying, best team. They've not been in it. They've not made much of a spell. They find it hard. The best team to play, players, as you said. And they had the chances, but they didn't take them. We put bodies on line. And I mean, for me, Roberts, that triple save were tremendous. They were never going to score. We were really blocking them. And that's the main thing, that the defence worked hard as well to stop them from scoring. And I'm pleased Roberts got another clean sheet. That's the main thing. And I think he's made most saves in League One so far this season. So it shows that our defence has been poor, but we've got a man at back who's, well, it's like having a bricked up goal, isn't it? They're not going to get through it. And I want to sign him at January window. We definitely need to sign Liam Roberts and make him a red. That's what I want at window.
You see, away from home, our defence ain't bad. We say, it's. I mean, the goalkeeper's there, as you said, Josh. The goalkeeper's there to save shots and to get the ball away, and he does that exceptional. So none of it's taken away from him. But away from home, we've conceded 3 goals away from home, according to Doug O'Kane in the Chronicle. 3 goals. There's only Arsenal in the whole of the Football League and Premiership that have conceded less goals than us. So that's not a rubbish defence. We've not been doing so great at home, and we've got to work out what that's all about. But we've scored 11 and conceded 3 away from home. That's exceptional form away from home, and exceptional attacking and defending. So, a bit harsh. At home, I would accept it, but a bit harsh considering out of 92 clubs, we're the second. The second best at not conceding. So, a bit harsh away from home, but Good goalie, though.
Speaking
We've
of,
all been harsh, Simcoe. We've all been harsh.
Eh?
Here we
I said
go.
we've got a poor defence. 3 flipping goals in all the away matches. Not at home. I'm not disputing at home, but saying we've been a good goalkeeper, but we've been poor in defence. They've been really good away from home. 3 goals, Alan. 3. Harsh.
I think Mayo looked the package last night as well. Like he looks like a centre half that can play the ball. He wants to bring the ball out well, yeah, and he's good at that as well. Which is he's now going to be a legend in a banter shirt just for doing that. But yeah, I think it's and I noticed last week in the pizza trophy,
the Papa John's will be having its proper name. It's a greatest competition, greatest cup competition.
He wants a free pizza again, Tracy. He's got to be full name.
As soon as I mention it, it just goes into disarray, doesn't it? But I was going to say that even I don't know how good his English is, but he was really marshalling that defence last week. You know, very vocal because there weren't that many people there, so you could hear him. And I actually think he's, you know, we go on about I do. This leader, I actually think, you know, he's got real potential there of like really marshalling that defence. And I just think for such a young lad, he had such a nightmare start. I thought where he's come in the space of like 6 weeks is fantastic. So I think we've unearthed a bit of a treasure there. You heard it here first.
I agree.
You're on that hype train from early.
Yeah.
No, I think when you look at Mads, though, Mads wasn't that shouting kind of leader as well. He was more one of those that led by example. And when you look at the way in which De Givney carries himself on the pitch, it reminds me a lot of Mads himself. Like, he's not exactly the most built defender in the world. He's not someone that's going to go steaming through and win a single ball. He's a little more calculated, he's a little more cute in the way in which he does it as well. And obviously, well, especially on Saturday, must have completed most passes that a player's ever completed in 90 minutes, shifting it from left to right. But I think he could be that linchpin at the back. Do you think Lopata gets back in over him, Al?
He's got to fight for it, hasn't he? I mean, at the moment, he's making it his own. And you've got to admit that he seems to be coasting through, especially last night. He did everything right, and to get his goal, I mean, well, what can you say? I mean, wow, first goal, professional goal, and they all loved it.
Fantastic header that he knew loads about as well.
It rose like a salmon.
Not many players can score with a back header.
It's true.
Come on, true. I mean, that's the first. True. And then when he went off pitch as well, as Tracy saw, when he goes up tunnel to the fans and he does that, look at my Facebook profile. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. There you go, Andy. Stuck it off you. Have you got royalties for that one?
I've influenced you.
so yeah, he's got to fight for his place back, hasn't he? But we don't know how long he's going to be. We don't know if it's going to be, as he said, Lopata, a couple of weeks. I think it's going to be more than a couple of weeks. It could be a couple of months for me. So, yeah, push on.
Good to see we've got options, though, doesn't it, Andy? We don't seem weakened from Lopata being missing.
We were really worried. A lot of fans, including me, were really worried when Casper got injured, because we thought, well, who's going to fit there? You know, and there were got a choice of three, the three that played at the back against Manchester City under-21s in the Papa John's Trophy. And they all did well then. And a lot of people, not unreasonably, thought, Jack Shepherd and maybe move McCart across. And I wouldn't have particularly objected to that. But De Givney has really, really, in 2 games, made himself almost indispensable there. He looks really assured, and he comes away with the ball. And he comes forward with the ball when there's room to play. He also allows. Behave, Alan.
This show has been chaotic.
It's all out.
I'll keep going then. He allows Jordan Williams to get forward and run at the opposition with pace, which then brings a player out to create space for a player to pass it to.
What is it?
All right, cheers, Al.
The dog's
Oh,
barking
it's
at the
gonna
door because
change. It'll be
Amazon's
probably a
delivered.
Christmas benches order. I don't order stuff off Amazon. It's
Yeah.
Kate. She never said a parcel were coming. Sorry about that. And Bruni, if you decide what Bruni says, the Vinny is barking up the right tree.
As jokes go, Al, that's pretty rough.
Oh
dear.
no.
Oh dear.
Can I do any more, Al? Don't do any more. Anyway, yeah, it's made it his own. I thought, I'm not going to use the word majestic again, but he looked incredibly assured at the back.
No, you can for him. You can use it
majestic. It was majestic. Absolutely majestic. Le Roi, the king. He was so... And he got in a lot of blocks and got in the way and got it away a fair bit and all when we crowded our penalty area. I was really impressed with him last night, as I was against Blackpool, to be honest, but particularly good last night. He gives us assurance at the back. And I did notice, Josh, that he passed the ball a bit more further forward for players to move on to. Not as much as Craig would have liked, or me, but at least they were doing it. So there's no worse than if you're passing it across, having to wait for it to reach you and then move. If you can do it, if you can move on to it, without it being intercepted, though, then that's obvious. That sets people up a lot better. So very, very well done to him. What an header! What an header! I think he planned it. He rose like a salmon, and when their player tried to edit, he went, "No, get in. You're not having that one." So the boy done good.
No, it says
Le garçon est superbe. It's French, that Al. Don't get confused.
no idea.
I'll just hold on. Let me get my French dictionary out, Andy.
Magnifique, Al. Le garçon était magnifique.
What impressed me yesterday, all of us, were the fact that we played at a better tempo, didn't we?
Yes. The passing, the good into passing, the pressing, Al, as me and Tracy said, the pressing was really, really positive, I thought. And as Tracy said, we didn't just have one running from one to other thinking, where's everybody else? I'm just doing the pressing. When we pressed as one. And, you know, we one pressed the ball and the others started to press the players that he could release it to. So that was particularly positive, I thought.
Yeah, it seems a little bit more of. I know the results have been there, but performances have been wanting a touch, and I think we got a little bit of both yesterday. We got the result, and I think we got the performance, especially in that first half, as well. So moving on, we are away again, which is great news for probably our form. Not so great for those who can't attend. So Exeter away. Al, they didn't have the greatest night last night, and I think you shared that video of the sending off, which grief, I've never seen anything like it.
They want to appeal that. They're trying to appeal. They're contemplating appealing it.
I would as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, but when does it happen? Does that appeal? Will it have been in time? This is the question I was going to ask all you people that are like knowledgeable in this about referees.
It should be done before Saturday, I think. If it lodges an appeal, it should be all sorted out by Saturday. I think that's the only fair way, because otherwise we lose out.
Misses the game and then respectively,
yeah, because we lose out because usually it'd be guaranteed that they'll be played at a score. Will be someone that was supposed to be suspended. So I think it's supposed to be sorted out before the next game. But retrospectively, I think the ban already applies from the sending off. Anyway.
I didn't see it, Josh. What happened?
I thought you sent it to me.
No, I ain't seen it.
It's a bit of a 50-50, but it's not. The player, he like stretches to flick the ball away, pokes it away, and then I think it's the Charlton player goes to like block tackle and kick it, and if anything, it looks a foul the other way. It looks a foul on the Exeter player, but he gets sent off.
It's the captain who got sent off. Williamson received a straight red for a late sliding lunge on May. Just a moment. He went captain. Skipper.
If you look at it back, it's on Twitter. I think I've seen it. It's not even a foul, let alone a sending off. because he's like stretches and pokes a ball away. And I don't really know why he's been sent on, because I thought it was the way around of the expert was in red, but it weren't. So yeah. Anyway, Exeter away, Al. I know a lot of us had them in the top 6 this season. I did not, seeing as I'd lost their main striker. Just going to get that in there, seeing as their downturn in form has been hitting them recently. How do you feel about this one on Saturday? So obviously, set off flying at the start of the season, well up there in the top 6, but is it the last 5 they've been struggling, or 5 or 6 games they've struggled now? So seems like a good time to be playing them.
It is. They're similar to us, aren't they? They've won 5, drawn 1, and lost 5. So 16 points, 2 points behind us. Is it 3 points behind us? So we went there last year on a Tuesday night last year. Oh dear, what a night that was! They just run us ragged, didn't they? So it's not an easy place to go to. But I think on his away form, the team's got to be up for it, haven't they? They've got to be up for the fact that we're playing better football away from home than we are at home. So I think there's no fear. And let's go there, firing all cylinders again. It's a long trip again, isn't it? We're to play Tuesday night. They'll be going down, I'm assuming, to Friday to stay overnight. And because it's a long trip, they won't be going Saturday. So find somewhere to train on Saturday morning. And yeah, be up for it. And let's see who starts. Because he's got a dilemma now, hasn't he? Collins, for his selection.
I love these logistic conversations you have here, rather. They'll go down Friday. They'll stop in a fancy Premier Inn. They'll be down there. They'll find a local pitch to
Travel Lodge.
Travel
Lodge. Watch the pennies. Travel Lodge.
I love that. Love a bit of insight there from you. Tracy, as Andy's mentioned there is a bit of a selection headache, or at least healthy competition in that regard.
I'm Andy.
Oh,
Andy.
I'm Al.
Sorry, Alan.
Well, I'm struggling because you've both got terrible internet, so it's hard to work out which one of you is which at minute. You both keep
listen to him,
off.
Al. Don't listen
You both
to
keep
him,
dropping off. You both keep coming back. You're both caught in a car crash here in this show. As Al mentioned, there's a bit of a selection dilemma at the minute. Obviously, Benson came on, grabbed an assist, played well. McAtee came on and almost scored as well. If you Neil Collins, do you sort of go with that same starting 11? Because that first half, we were very, very strong and very, very good.
I think you have to really. I think it'd be extremely harsh on any of the starting 11 to not start them on what grounds. Because, yeah, the subs did well when they came on, but they didn't come on because somebody were playing poorly, in my opinion. They just came on because we needed some fresh legs, or we needed to get some time into some players. I actually thought, we brought Jack Shepherd on. I know I did see McCart on the bench look to have some ice on his knee when it panned over to the dugout at one point. Now, I don't know if that was more of a precautionary, got a bit of a knock. He didn't look to be limping or anything, but that I've not heard anything to say that he's particularly injured. But so there was that. But I actually thought because we were in control of the game, we were giving people minutes, bringing Benson on, giving people minutes. I don't think Benson's in a position to start yet. I think the more minutes we can get into him, the better. And McAtee up front, yeah. Again, he did well when he came on, as did Cosgrove. But I just think you can't change that starting 11. I just think it would be extremely unjust unless, like I said, there is an injury or a knock. I mean, in terms of their form, what I've looked at, they haven't really got. I mean, get ready. I'm going to say it now. They don't seem to have any obvious goal scorers. They've not got a Devante Cole or and sort of somebody leading the line. It doesn't look that way anyway. And obviously they've got Jack Aitchinson, who I know has been sub the last few games. So no doubt he'll come on and score, because that always happens. And I really liked him. So, I'm not that I want him to score against us. But I thought he was a good little player, and I thought he worked extremely hard. So, but no, I think you go with the starting 11. To be honest, I don't think there's any reason to change that at all.
No, it is. I mean, definitely with Jack Aitchison, that's penciling down for 2 or 3. Because no doubt that's what'll happen, especially given there's no out-and-out goal scorer in that side, so he'll pop up with a few. Andy, I feel like you're going to have some stats for us. Given that you mentioned home form, early and away form to me. Exeter, what do you reckon to? Because as Al mentioned, we struggled against them last season, home and away, and they've more or less ruined our promotion chances.
We struggled against Jay Stansfield last year. That's what we struggled against. It was now at Birmingham. Thank the Lord he's at Birmingham, not in our division. Great player, absolutely great player. Runner's ragged. So, you know, in that respect, that's good. I'm glad Jack Aitchison's been on the subs bench, because for me, he's a smashing little player who knits well between midfield and attack, and is a clever lad, a clever player. Not dissimilar to John McAtee in his own way. Clever, knows how to play and interact. So really chuffed with that. Can't believe that I'm having to do some stats when Smith is here. I mean, I understand with Craig not being there, but Stato Smith ain't got any stats. Scary. At home, they've played 5 home games. They've won 2, drawn 1, and lost 2. So they're not doing so well. But in the last 6 matches overall, not just at home, they've won 2 and lost 4. It's not dissimilar to their overall form, not dissimilar to our own form in its own way. So, you know, there's a lot to play for. Mitchell, who plays up front, he scored 3 goals, and then rest like Emerson and Scott and another one. Trevitt has scored 2 each, and Jack Aitchison scored 1. I think a couple others scored 1. So they've scored a goal there and a goal there, 2 there, 2 there, but they've not scored. That, as Tracy said, they've not got a goal scorer that's scoring loads and loads of goals. They're not scoring that many. They've only scored 5 goals in the last 6 matches, so it's not. You know, I'm loath to say they're not going to be a threat up front, because you know what will happen if we start talking like that.
I'm glad you've mentioned it, though.
I know. Well, I know. You see, Tracy might, because she's not that young. You'll not remember, but me and Alan will remember very well losing 6-1 in '73 down at Exeter.
I'm not that old, Andy.
I know. No, stick with me. And even more painfully, I mean, 6-1. How can something be more painfully than that? In '77, me and Smithy were at Oakwell when we were 3-0 up and coasting, a bit like last night, and they scored 4 late goals to beat us 4-3. That was an absolute tragic time for us.
Highly out.
Yeah. All the cries were going, "Oh, get Jim Hiley out." It weren't grand. Were it, Al? It weren't grand. So, you know, so we've also got these you know, these worries about Exeter, because they can do a number on us. I've only ever been to Exeter once in my life. I went with work many years ago now, about 10, 12 years ago, something like that. And we went down for work, and we were staying overnight. So me and him that went down, we went into town at tea time for something to eat, just for something to eat. And
City, not town.
City. Yeah, because we're next to the there weren't anybody there. I thought it's like a ghost city. There wasn't nobody there. So we went near the cathedral. We found one coffee shop open, sat down to have a cup of coffee. This is about 5:30. Sat down to have a cup of coffee. Only time I've ever been to Exeter. And as we're sitting, sipping our coffee outside in the nice warm sunshine, 5 policemen with dirty great big machine guns come flying around, screaming, "What are you doing here?" There's a nail bomber trying to set off nail bombs. They'd evacuated the flipping city, apart from, I've only been there one day, and it weren't me, I weren't the nail bomber. A nail bomber had come up from the south coast. And so I was sat there in a ghost city. So that's been my one experience of Exeter. And so it's funny to say that I'll not be going on Saturday either, because all could happen when I go down there. So good luck to them. Good luck to Jack, especially. If we're winning 4-0, I'd be happy for him to score a last kick.
You trying to sway these predictions?
Predictions? What do you want to know about predictions?
No, I'm just saying, you trying to sway them here?
No. Right. Bear in mind all the stuff that were posted about our performance at home to Blackpool. We were rubbish with this, that, and other, and all that. We had 74 on this. We had 74 predictions for the match last night. 60 for a Barnsley win, 12 for a draw, 1 for a defeat. So, 60 people got it right. Nobody got 3-1. 4-0, I mean, sorry. Nobody got 4-0. A few got 3-1 and 3-0 and what have you. But mostly were 2-0. Loads and loads, 20 odd, 25, 26, 27 people got 2-0, but nobody got. I mean, I've no doubt that such as Tom Webster will be trying to claim that he got 2-0 in first half and 2-0 in second half, that sort of stuff. But you know, people did really, really well. The sad thing, although it's a season competition, I would say that to people to remember it's a season competition. The sad thing is there's only one game left out of this first tranche, if you like, this first mini competition. And we've got a lot of people on 13 points. We've got about 6 people on 13 points, including Tracy and Craig and Reese Pierce and what have you. And I hate to say it, Big Kev, can't believe it. But Tony Carlson's on 18 points. He's 5 points clear with one match left. So I'm going to hazard a prediction that Tony Carlson, our Swedish reporter, is going to win it. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, the shirt I can understand. I know the other part of the competition is getting in the hospitality box from Smart Door Solutions. How the heck it's going to manage that when he's in Sweden? I don't know. That'll be up to Tony to decide what he wants to do about it. Whether he wants to give it to me and Alan or anybody else, I don't know. He can do if he wants to. So we can't pay for him to come over. I know that. So well done, Tony. Premature, I know, but well done.
At least he's got a few weeks now to work out if he can book some flights across, I suppose. You know,
yeah,
might get a cheaper rate now rather than on the day and things like that.
Is our top Swedish correspondent, Tony?
Well, saying Tony's going to win only prediction I think I've got right properly. So well done, Tony. Well done.
Yeah, congratulations, Tony. We'll be in touch regarding the shirt, and also we'll work out what's going on with the box.
Or not.
Or not. But we can speak and sort that out. Right, speaking predictions, let's get the young ones on to see what they think of Barnsley versus Exeter.
A great 4-0 against Cambridge. We're on the way to training. Next up, we've got Exeter. What do you think the score's going to be? I think it'll be 2-0 to Barnsley. I think it'll be 1-0 to Barnsley. If you think you're better than predicting, then just get it in the comments down below. You Reds!
So that's what they think. Al, what do you reckon to this one? Obviously, historically against Exeter, especially last season, struggled. They've seemed to have a bit of downturn in form at the minute. What are you reckoning?
I'm confident. Behind me again. It says 30 Phillips. I think we can get another clean sheet and get 3 goals. So I'm going for a 3-0 victory. The confidence has reappeared.
I'd like to say it looks like 33 behind there. So if you've got 33-0 down now, Andy.
What did you say for last night, Alan? What did you say for last night against Cambridge?
When
we won 4-0. When we won 4-0, what did you say, Alan?
Look, you like this, but I was being conservative.
Are you cancelling HS2 as well, then?
Well, poor Josh. He was expecting HS2 to get down to London pretty quick. Now he's got to walk it halfway.
No, you've no chance of ever going to get on that. It's going to be well expensive to get on it.
3-0, flipping heck.
I know.
1-0.
I can't believe Fruman at bus there saying that I also said 1-1. Like I know what I'm on about, Al. You should know that. Never believe me on these predictions. I don't think I've ever got more. I don't think I've ever got more than 5 points.
Can I just point out you both got 6? Let me tell you this before you continue. You, Alan, have got 6 points.
Thank you.
6 points. Josh has got 6 points. Beardsall's got more than you. I've got 10 points, and Tracy thrashing it 12 points. There's only Craig at 13.
I'm sorry, Andy. It's a fan competition. And subscribers, we think about our viewers, not like you wanting to win. We're cool, aren't we, Josh? You know.
Yep, that's why we do it. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we've got no idea how we're going to play.
Do you know what, Smithy? You've talked a lot of sense some days, and you've talked absolute rubbish other days. And
politicians talk rubbish, Andy. So
you saying you don't want to win the prediction competition. It's just mind-blowingly rubbish. You want to thrash everybody. Don't give me all that. Oh, I'm doing it. I don't want me to win. I want our viewers to win. Rubbish. You want to rub the noses in it. All on them. And you're not going to, because Tracy's got as many points as you two Muppets put together.
That's all right, because I'm going to come to Tracy next, and I'm going to copy her prediction. So, Tracy, what are you reckoning to Saturday?
I think we're going to draw. Actually, I'm not going on this crest of a wave. I think Exeter are a bit of our bogey side. You know, we have one, and I think it's them in League One, especially. I think they're the team that I just think, oh, Exeter. We just don't seem to be able to do it against them. So I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
Oh, dear God.
Ooh. Maybe I'm not going to copy Tracy's prediction.
No.
I didn't see that coming. Andy, maybe I might copy yours. Where are you?
Yes.
Are you about mid-table?
I would say so. I think Lincoln's our bogey team, really. I think we're going to. I don't think they're going to score. I don't think that. I think it's going to be 2-0 to us. Nice and steady. Nice and steady.
2-0, 3-0, 2-2. I suppose someone might as well go for 2-1. So I think it'll be me. I think I'll take it. I'll go for a 2-1 to Barnsley. That is. Yeah, I think that. What have you got there, Al?
A Josh special then.
Look, I'll just show you what Kate got me. It's a Toby wine topper.
That was just coming Amazon box.
Hold on. So we had to watch you stop the dog barking, answer the door, come back with show us an Amazon box for that, Alan. Is that what you're saying?
No, that was a birthday present. I've had that a while. The wine topper.
Have you opened it, Al? How do you know it's a birthday present? If it were from Kate, did it? How do you know? Have you opened it?
No, that's I've had that ages. What's up with you?
That's a present.
I feel like a parallel universe here, me today.
It will have been a birthday present a long time ago now, Al. A long time ago, your birthday, Al, weren't it?
Oh,
a long time.
Don't you start.
I've had 3 or 4 years of this, and I still get just as confused whenever we start talking to each other. I try to stop it, but you can't stop it.
Nah.
You can't. Don't try and come between me and my mates. We're not having it, Al, are we?
Have you two finished yet? Because I'd like to finish this show at some point.
No, I've got one thing left to say. If this is all right,
that's absolutely fine.
Only one thing, and Leighton Orient lost one of their fans last night. 74-year-old Derek Reynolds, which were a real shame. I think he had from what I've read in the Independent, he had a suspected heart attack at the match last night against Lincoln, where they were winning 1-0. And I think the game was stopped in the 92nd minute while they worked on him. What was, for me, saddening, as according to reports, the referee was the officials were trying to continue with the game, but around 20 fans, went onto the pitch and sat down to stop the game. I think one of the goalkeepers did as well, but I won't swear which one. But 20 fans sat down, so the game had to stop. Sadly, Derek Reynolds died, and the game was abandoned. So that's condolences to his family and to all the other fellow fans at Leighton Orient. A sad time, going to a football match to watch a team that you've supported for donkey's years not to come home is a tragedy.
Yeah, it's a very sad situation, the entire thing, and I think it might spark some changes in the way in which things like that are approaching the future. Obviously, we had it ourselves with the Burton game a few years ago, and thanks to the Burton team and players, they were pivotal in that as well. So good to see that the players, again, as you mentioned, the goalkeeper sitting down to help stop the game, supporting and helping that. So yeah, condolences to his family. Does that just about wrap it all up? Anything else? Anyone else want to say, address, do? Anyone want to leave this call again and come back between you two? It's probably your turn, Tracy, because you're the one that hasn't done that yet. So,
no, I'm good, thanks.
So is anyone else? As always, Reds, make sure to like, subscribe, get your prediction in the comments, because even though Tony's won this first mini competition, the full season and the full overall league table is still running. So it's due a few bad results anyway. This form can't continue forever. So you'll be right back up there. Chances are, if you predict more than once, you'll be above me, which is
Josh,
Apple.
me and you are most strongest pair in the league. We're propping everybody else
propping
up.
everything up. Exactly that, Al. It's a fair point. So yeah, make sure to get your predictions in the comments. And as always, we'll see you later. You Reds.